love the draw-around. Yeah, too much fun.
So the Draw-Around is a 12-hour drawing event here at the Cowell Gym, where people can draw all over the floors and the walls. So like anywhere with paper you can draw, and they have different props around the room and different workshops and activities. Sometimes there's henna.
I love that it starts off with just tons of paper and then all of this art happens, and all kids just interact with art things in ways that you wouldn't imagine.
It's been really cool to kind of see the community grow and see everyone come in and be able to add their little piece to this cool setup and have it change from year to year. I think it takes a lot of creativity, and it's very expressive of Shelburne Falls and of the Hilltowns.
My name is Laura Iveson, and I am the organizer of the Hilltown Draw-Around. I lived in New Orleans for almost 20 years and really loved the way that it is a community that's very focused on creating ephemeral, whimsical art. And after Katrina, there was a collective called the Press Street Collective, a group of artists who saw that there was an area of town that was blighted and not repopulating very quickly, and so they decided to do something about it. And they took a building that had been damaged, and they had what they called the Draw-Thon. They went 24 hours. They didn't cover anything with paper because it was going to be renovated anyway, and so you just walked in and you drew. You drew on hardwood floors, you drew on painted walls, you drew wherever. And it was wonderful, and it brought a lot of people, and it's been going now since 2006. And when we moved up here, the thing I missed the most was, like I said, that creative community all coming together to create something that's just going to go away. And so it was a great opportunity to bring the Draw-Thon up here, and so we brought it and shortened it because we're a more obviously rural area, and called it the Draw-Around.
I believe in community art. I think that that's what art should be. At least I mean, there's professional art has its place, but I think people, ordinary people, can get together and make all kinds of gorgeous, fun, life-affirming pieces that they then enjoy together. And that's one of the things that's neat about the town of Shelburne Falls in general. And it's one of the things that makes the art garden itself so special, and then this event.
I find that usually people are less self-conscious of what they draw here, because they get to walk around and they get to see kind of what everyone else's mind is thinking, and instead of being like, oh, I'm not good enough to be here, people's minds start going, oh, I have a really cool idea, I'm going to go put it right next to this really cool thing. And that's really rare to get as an artist, and even when you're not an artist, that feeling of I'm not as good as this other person, so I can't do it, it's everywhere. And so this is like a 12 hours where it just doesn't exist anymore, and it's just kind of gone.
The first year, I think Jane Vigscheider, the director of the Art Garden, who created the Art Garden, which is an incredible platform from which we create other things. I think Jane thought I was absolutely insane because we didn't start rolling our almost 5,000 square foot floor until 9 o'clock or so at night, and we had no idea if people were even going to show up. So she looked at me like she thought I was nuts.
Yeah, I'll say that what I'm struck by is how peaceful it all is. I don't normally sit down and draw anything, but I'm loving it, and I just feel like I'm very happy.
I think that the quality of your drawing utensils is dynamite, and that is helpful. Like to not take a cap off a marker and find that it's dried out. They're never dried out. They always work. How often do you go somewhere and try to draw and you can't draw? In your own house. In your own house.
I did the first 3, and this is my tribute to pop stars. And now I came back and someone else just did 3 more. I did Taylor Slug, Justin Bieber, and Katie Penguin. But now that I've come back, we've got an Ed Sheepan, a Justin Tim Bearlake, and a Rachel Batten. So don't forget, I did a Tria over there too for Sia.
The way people play off each other is really awesome. People create basically prompts for other people to add to. That's really fun. Like the guy that did the dinosaurs. I like the 3D coloring room. I like the creating it. The other things are just, we've realized the first year we had more blank walls, but we didn't have as many people engaging, it seemed. So we started putting up more kind of prompts to give people a nudge, because sometimes it can be really hard to come up with something on the spot or to want to create something that can be a very personal thing for people, and it can feel a little bit scary. So when you have a prompt kind of pushing you, it helps. So, and that's the whole idea, is just to have people have fun and to connect with that side of themselves.
My favorite part is, well, I like that it's different every year, so I'm always a little bit curious what will have changed, and the surprise booth that you make a request and get a drawing out of is always really fun.
My favorite thing this year is probably the beelines thing, that where you request to the bee to draw something and get a drawing back pretty quickly. It's kind of cool to see kind of just this mysterious being be able to draw stuff for you at your request.
This year, for the first time, we had music happening from about 5 on, various individual performers, then some smaller bands, and then at 9 o'clock we had Raspberry Jam. And Raspberry Jam was clearly what the crowd had been waiting for, or should I say maybe the crowd for Raspberry Jam arrived kind of with Raspberry Jam. And they started in, and all of a sudden the draw-around turned into a rock concert. Everybody, including not only their fans, but I think pretty much everybody else, was out there in this space dancing, and it was magical.
I love the draw-around, and I think that considering we are a rural, sparsely populated area and people are maxed out these days, people still show up. It takes a lot of volunteer hours, it takes a lot of hands, and we have people that come in and are willing to, you know, cut 100 paper squares or, you know, get on their hands and knees and draw things to create for the event. We have people that come in and help tape down the floor, and it all comes down to volunteers. Without the volunteers, this would not happen. It couldn't happen. So we've got a great community. This was, I don't know if this event would actually work in some communities, but in this community, people do come together, and it works.